Hello, my psychopaths. The Omegaverse is a subgenre of speculative erotic fiction. The genre supposes the existence of a dominant hierarchy amongst humans, as similar to that associated with wolves and other canids, that is composed of dominant alphas, neutral betas, and a submissive omegas. This hierarchy determines how people interact with one another in a romantic, erotic, and sexual manner. Though tropes associated with the Omegaverse can be observed in works published as early as the 1960s, the genre formally originated in the 2010s as a subgenre of erotic slash same sex fan fiction as a fusion of elements of werewolf fiction and the MPreg subgenre. Works of the Omegaverse genre typically depict characters as possessing two sexes, a primary sex, male or female, determined by their external sexual organs, and a second sex that manifests during puberty, determined by their internal reproductive system. The secondary sex is typically one that follows, also corresponds to a certain distinctive character traits. Alpha, socially and in some interpretations even biologically dominant. Physically built, short tempered, and a natural leader. Betas, either a regular human being or has a mix of alpha and omega traits or their unique traits. Omegas, submissive and gentle, calm and a peacemaker. In this second part, these are some terms you'll be hearing in Omegaverse books, videos, and fanfics. The book talkers will hate me for this. So, rutting. In the Omegaverse fiction, rutting refers to a period of intense sexual desire and behavior, often associated with alphas and omega dynamics. Heat cycles. Omegas experience heat cycles where they become sexually receptive and seek out an alpha for mating. Pheromones. In the Omegaverse, pheromones play a crucial role in Omegaverse dynamics, influencing attraction of arousal between alphas, omegas, and betas. Knots. So, a knot in the Omegaverse and in nature itself is when a alpha male in the Omegaverse fiction often have penises that swell and not during mating, meaning the female or omega male cannot escape during sexual intercourse. In the Omegaverse, scent marking is used to mark territory or claim a mate. It is similar to imprinting, which is a deep instinctual bond formed between mates, often described as a soulmate connection. This is actually seen in Twilight, from Jacob imprinting on Renesmee. Jesus. And just before, whilst he was imprinting on her, he said this quote: "It's not like love at first sight. Really, it's more like gravity moves. When you see her, suddenly it's not the earth holding you here anymore. She does. And nothing matters more than her." This is a really weird situation in the Twilight series. As Jacob, that's a baby. It is not Sigma. You nicknaming her Ness is not Sigma. It does not make it any better, Jacob. You need to calm down. The next term. Meltmaxing. In the Omegaverse, it is shown in werewolf characters, which is another step in to see if the Omega is breedable or not. If they have shown a side of Meltmaxing, this tells the Alpha that the Omega isn't breedable and can't secrete enough anal lube. Mating rites. In Omegaverse, mating rites can involve ritual or behaviors that establish dominance, submission, or courtship. A pack structure. In Omegaverse stories, pack structure mirrors social hierarchies amongst alphas, betas, and omegas, often with an alpha leading the pack. Potential permanent psychic bonds with a mate. Omega fiction sometimes features psychic or empathetic bonds between mates, enhancing their emotional and physical connection. The genre often features other fantasy elements, such as presence of werewolves or other fantastical creatures. Some works introduce a rigid caste system, where alphas are depicted as the upper class entities, while omegas are at the bottom tier and face discrimination and oppression because of their physiological, creating an example of biological determinism in darker stories. This results in non-consensual or dubious consent consensual intercourse, forced pregnancies, kidnapping of omegas, and sexual slavery. Another fun fact, inside all stories, Nova is the biggest alpha and owns the universe. There's other genres connected to the Omegaverse. There was this prompt on Live dedicated to the series Supernatural about alpha males and having knots and bitch males not. I will show you the picture right now. It is very weird, but very, very good. This is inspired someone to write, "I ain't no lady, but you'll be the tramp." This is about Jensen and Jared from Supernatural. This is a part of a subverse called Trampverse. So there's some Omegaverse stories. Addison Kane realized Born to be Bound, the first novel of a series adapted from her fanfic that features Omegaverse genre trope. The Omegaverse was also seen on TikTok, with it starring in April 2021, where a section of Muslim Omegaverse jokes had become famous. In early 2022, the word Omegaverse was banned on TikTok because of this trend. My last point. Benson Boone. You cannot hide behind your alpha facade. You are not alpha, Benson. You are an Omega. We know when you go into heat, we can smell that moonbeam ice cream pheromones! You cannot take off your blue jeans for alpha men. You cannot expose your self-lubricating asshole. You've been hiding behind this alpha male facade. You are not an alpha. You're a bitch male, no not, and we all know it. You made your song mystical, magical, because that's how your first ever alpha described your arse as. You cannot hide it anymore. We know why your song's Moonbeam Ice Cream. It's because you want your beam. It is lunar pheromone. What the fuck does that even mean? Benson Boone. Benson Boone. I'm gonna boon your Benson in a minute. Because I am the alpha. I am the leader. And I'm the one to trust. And you, Benson Boone, are gonna kneel beneath me and suck my dick.
There's nothing colder than your shoulder when you're dragging me along like you do. Like you do. And then you switch up with no warning, and you kiss me like you want it. How rude, how rude.